So this is another 28-year-old patient who had a archaectomy, testicular archaectomy on the right side before he even presented to us. And now he presents to us with a small, from an outside oncologist, got the surveillance CTs, and then they saw this in the retroperitoneum next to the duodenum, and they called it as a duodenal cyst, which was newly developed, and the patient was sent to us. And then the patient has been getting follow-up CTs while he was here. And that was years later, a couple of years later or a year later, and this cyst-like thing has been increasing in size. And so his archaectomy pathology was embryonal carcinoma and teratoma. And this patient, this was cystic, and we got an MRI as well after this. And the MRI didn't show much other than showing that it's, let's see. Other than it is a cyst. It's not very complicated. It's a simple cyst-like appearance. But this has been increasing in size over a period of years, and his tumor markers have been stable. His tumor marker AFP was pretty stable all through the course of these few years. And so this was diagnosed, but they ultimately went ahead and resected it, and turned out to be a growing teratoma syndrome with mature teratomatous elements. And a growing teratoma syndrome with mature teratomatous elements. And let me see if I can share PowerPoint here. But let's see.
Sorry, what's the difference between a growing teratoma syndrome and just non-growing teratoma syndrome?
I guess they can grow and not grow. Yeah, so let me see. I don't know if you can see this here.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. So one is there can be a differentiation of malignant cells into a mature teratoma, or the patient can get a chemotherapy, and then after that they selectively destroy the malignant cells, and then it remains like a mature teratoma. And so they can present with these can be increasing in size, and that doesn't have to be always cystic. They can be a little bit complex, and they can have calcifications, they can have fat in it. And since they have mature elements, depending upon what they contain, even on FDG PET, they can be hot as well. So that doesn't rule out a mature teratoma or a growing teratoma syndrome. And they do require surgical removal because they can cause mass effects, or they can transform into a malignant phenotype later, or they can also develop second malignancies as well.
Very cool. So it sounds like, I like this thing about basically the chemo takes out the malignant one. So even though this is a benign mature teratoma, it's still, it'll persist and then keep growing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But they don't necessarily always remain benign. They can convert into malignant teratomas as well later. So which is why they still need to be removed.
Yeah. And it's interesting that it was completely cystic looking on MRI.
Yeah. Like there's no solid component to it. It was like all just dead.
Yeah.
No, it's probably like the sebaceous stuff from the.
Oh, got it. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.